Hey, subscribe to the channel. Leave a like right now. All right? We're going to play this over and over again in the starting screen. Leave a like, subscribe. I put a thing down here, and it'll show you. I better see a few of them pop up. All right? Subscribe, leave a like. We're live.
What up? Let's get weird. It's your boy Tommy G here with episode something of Stay Cashin show. I don't know what episode this is,
I
guys.
don't think we should even track the episodes. We should just go by the date.
Went week 5 edition of the Stay Cashin show. How about that? I'm in a bad mood. I'm angry. As you guys know, I want to vent over this weekend. I call it retrograde week. Bill and Night Ghost think I'm a fucking insane person for it. So maybe we'll debate that on the show today. The Yankees are done. Game over. Fucking, we're going to talk about that. And I'm just glad this fucking weekend's gone, honestly, for me. I don't know how you guys did. This was my worst fucking weekend of 2021. So I will kick to Bill Rupp first. Mr. Rupp, how are you doing? I know you did good on the props yesterday in the Yankee game. I was not big on the props. I was trying to just bet the Yanks and leave it alone. But you hit some home run props. Tell us how your night went.
Yeah, I killed home runs. Got a total bases or two. Lot of in-game stuff. Killed the in-game. FanDuel put out each batter's hits, whether to get a hit, strikeout, fly out, whatever. So we pounded a couple of those. Brett Gardner to strike out every single time he was up at bat. That was great. They're giving us plus money for that. And Gallo to strike out every time he was up at bat. And also did Renfroe also because he was bad against Cole, but that didn't last very long since Cole was only in the game for 2 innings. But yeah, we killed live. It looked like it was going to be a shitty night. The Yankees were going to lose. But it ended up being a winning night with props and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I basically, I'll get into my thing in a second. Night Ghost, how did you do last night or this weekend? Anything you want to chat about?
The early games went well on Sunday. I did not do well with the Bucks game, so that was probably our worst game for me in regards to football. Yesterday, you said it on the show last week or Monday, you know how I felt about Cole, you know how I felt about the Yankees, especially going to Boston. I knew you guys were rooting for the Yankees, we're going to be on the Yankees. So I just took the approach to just stay away. I didn't trust Cole. I didn't want to trust Cole. I fucking hate him. And
You've hated Cole all year, so I got to give you credit for that. You've said you were not a Cole fan. Is that a 4 Deep shirt? What is that?
Nice.
Oh, look at that. Night Ghost in the red. Nice.
buy the sweatshirts, guys. They're cool as hell. I just got mine. Sweatshirts, awesome. Buy
they
them.
give you
Mine's in the
muscles too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
we buy a 7X.
Mike took all the sweatshirts, gave them to the whole staff, and decided to not give them to me because he said he wanted to give them to the staff first. And I was like, I'm on every show.
You're
Shouldn't
not
I have
staff,
the gear?
bro.
I know. I'm the last person. I'm the last person. to
I
get my
would
own-
I would wear my cool sweatshirt too, but it's 80 degrees out and fucking.
Well, Bill, you know how my apartment is at all times.
Oh, bro, you should be wearing a hooded fucking sweat. I went over there 2 days ago. I was fucking sitting there with my fucking hooded sweatshirt over my head, freezing to death. 40 degrees.
Everyone's like,
in
it's
that
summer.
fucking-
Why you always wear sweatshirts? I'm like, I keep my apartment at
40
59.
degrees, guys. 40.
59.
What?
I like to keep it between 59 and 65.
Open the windows
Jesus
in that
Christ.
fucking COVID fucking.
I like it cold. I like it cold.
He
I'm
likes to
still,
give
dude, I don't even
himself
have
an
anything on
excuse
under
to
this. I'm
warm
actually
Get some
sweating under
fresh
here.
air in there.
You're just used to it.
It smells like sex and drugs and alcohol and.
How you doing, brother?
I had a pretty good weekend, to be honest.
Yeah?
It wasn't that bad. I won some money in DFS, won both my fantasy leagues. I honestly don't watch baseball, but I'm a Red Sox fan, so go Sox.
Fuck you, piece of shit. So let's talk about this first. So I found out Healy has a big work week at his company, so he'll be on here Friday, but he had some big conferences and stuff on Monday, Wednesday, so he'll be back on Friday. Healy dropped a plus 5,500 randomly in the chat that like I didn't see, and he's like, "Oh, I just kind of threw it out because people were talking about same game parlays." I'm like, "Did you post it?" He's like, "Well, no, I wasn't. Like, I just threw it out. They were talking about same game parlays, so I said this is what I would do. Plus 5,500 that hit that I missed, so I missed that. Now I'm just going in the chat. I basically just put myself. We'll talk about retrograde in a second. I just found out we just hit a plus 1280 esports parlay in the chat. I see everyone going nuts. Zeke's mom is tweeting about it. I missed everything. I missed all the fucking plus 5,000s and plus 1,300s to have all my money invested in same game parlays on the Chargers Raiders game, which we'll talk about first, which was 2 days ago. We'll get into on this show. We're going to talk about the Chargers Raiders game. We'll recap that. I'm going to go off on Aaron Boone in a second and the Yankees and why this is a good thing for the Yankees long term. We'll preview the Seahawks Rams game. We'll go into MLB playoff futures bets. I know we already hit a couple for making the playoffs and stuff like that. We have a couple more. And then we'll glance at the week 5, kind of give it a first look for this weekend. Obviously on the Friday show, which takes place at 2 p.m. That'll be the first show that also is on iTunes. So E got us all set up for an iTunes feed. So we'll be dropping the iTunes. So we'll get you guys all set up for that by Friday. Tell you how to check it out. But let's start with the Monday Night Football game. Obviously, we do this show Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So the Wednesday show would be when we recap Monday a little bit. I was pretty fucking pissed off with that game, Bill. Me and you were at the bar. I was sitting there live tweeting in our Discord a Tinder date that was going on to our right. That was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And that was the only thing that kept me sane, watching John Gruden basically just fucking have no idea how to run an offense and no idea in the first half of that game how to play football. 4-minute drill starting at their own 20, down fucking more than 2 scores. And he ran the ball 3 times and punted. Like, I mean, what did you think of that game as a whole? I thought it pretty much flopped for me, but the 13-point teaser hit again. Like, that thing hits every fucking live game. So, little sneak preview. That might be my play for tomorrow's game. But, Bill, give me a little quick recap of the Chargers game.
I mean, very limited amount of people can do the 13-point teaser. I wish I could do it, but can't do it. All my plays hit on Stay Cashin every week. Again, 2 for 2. Ruggs yards and Ruggs longest reception. I should just bet my Stay Cashin plays and stay away from everything else. Giving out free plays in here, and they hit every time. I think I'm like 95% in here giving away free plays.
You got that on one catch, too.
Yeah, that was it. That's all we needed. That's the plan for him. He's not going to catch 10 balls, and he's going to get one of those long ones. And I remember we bet it week 1, and then I forgot about him week 2, week 3. And I'm like, I got to keep remembering because I forget about the Raiders games. A lot of times they're at 4 o'clock. And I already have parlays in, and I forget about him. But that's all he gets. He gets one of those or 2 of those a game, and they hit. So why not hit that every game? I'm going to hit it every game from now on. But my free plays are always hitting, and that's I also should be playing. But
and the mush is the jinx is in.
Yeah, but that Thursday night game this week, I know we'll talk about it later. I hate it. I hate the game. Awful. But that's. So
I can already predict where your free play is going to be. I already know where it is. Don't say it, but I already know where it's going to be when Bill doesn't like a game. I know where he goes. So I'm going to try and predict it by then. Ghost, before we get to the Yankees, Red Sox, and some baseball shit to start here, what was your take on the Monday Night Football game?
So I know when we had the show, I said I was leaning the Raiders, but the more I dug into it, I said in chat, I really flipped to love the Chargers, but by then I feel like I was pot committed. I wound up just playing the free play that we gave, the Eckler one, which we missed, which was unfortunate, especially with him getting hurt that first drive. He still should have had it by the end of the game, but that game flow kind of took him out of it. I missed on the Raiders team total.
Gruden. Gruden. It was Gruden.
Yeah.
It was Gruden. I mean, that first half was just embarrassing. That was literally mortifying the way that he was coaching that first half. The play calling was terrible.
The Raiders first half team total was 10.5 and couldn't hit that, which was that was ugly, man. It was an ugly game. It was an ugly weekend. Eckler being hurt, of course. Justin Jackson comes in, catches like 3 balls while Eckler's out. Eckler's out for fucking 1 series, and there's 3 catches that go to the running back on that play, and then he has his first career 100-yard rushing game this week.
I mean, just running up and down the field. Doesn't catch shit, and I know that was probably one of the most popular props in the country, not just amongst our staff. Everyone seemed to be on the Eckler over. It's been happening like that a lot this year. When everyone in the world is on something, it seems like those things are fucking flopping all year for everyone across the industry. So might be something to keep an eye on going forward. But anyway, let's get to the Yankee game last night. I've been saying for 5 years, Aaron Boone is the worst thing to ever happen to the New York Yankees. I said he's going to ruin our dynasty. I said we're going to win no World Series with this fucking guy. Every time I think I'm out, they drag me back in, by fucking Stanton getting hot and fucking acquiring Rizzo and acquiring Cole and doing all this shit. The bottom line is just you cannot win a championship with someone like Aaron Boone as your coach, no matter how talented your team is. And they have probably the most or one of the most talented teams for the last half decade. And it's constantly Aaron Boone, and no one realizes it. Everyone wants to blame Garrett Cole yesterday. That game was 3-1 when Garrett Cole left? That game was still in striking distance. It's the third base coach. It's Aaron Boone, and it's just horrific. It's Boone. It's nothing else. We have the best bullpen probably that you could want going into this. We have studs up and down the lineup. We're screaming for fucking Joey Gallo to get the fuck out of the 5-hole. I've been screaming forever. I got a text from my friend yesterday at around 6 o'clock, and he said, Joey Gallo is finally out of the 5-hole. He saw the lineup before I did. I was like, thank fucking God. And he moves him to the 4-hole. He puts Rizzo leading off, who's led off, once all fucking year, moves Gallo to the 4-hole behind Stanton and Judge, the two most dominant hitters that walking into the playoffs. So there's no protection. And then with that, he starts Gardner, Bill. And then I said we need Gardner out of the 7-hole, and he moves Gardner up to the 6-hole. So he has Gardner in 6, Gallo in 4, just to show you how fucking terrible of a coaching decision that is. Not only was Gallo up at the biggest spot of the game, when they did have second and third and they sent Judge for no fucking reason. I think the third base coach sent Judge just because he knew Gallo was coming up and was about to strike out. So he figured there's really 2 outs instead of 1. But when Bill's in the fucking chat betting strikeout every at bat props for Gardner and Gallo, how does Bill fucking Rupp on his couch know that these guys are going to strike out every at bat? And Aaron fucking Boone, the leader of the Yankees, doesn't, Bill?
I don't think it's all Boone's fault.
All
Boone destroyed the dynasty. I mean, the dynasty was already destroyed by Joe Girardi. So we won 1 World Series in 2009. I believe that was Girardi's second year when he won 103 games. Then after that was 95, 97, 95, 85, 84, 87, 84. It was already ruined. The Yankees were, all those years, Jeter's last years, they were hanging by a thread. They were 85-win team. That's when it was ruined. Boone won 100 games in 103 games. His first 2 years, 33 on last season, on the COVID season, and we won in the 90s this year. It's not his fault. The team is not put together the right way. Boone doesn't get the players, Tommy. You have an all right-handed lineup when you're built for lefties. It's not his fault.
It's not Boone's fault.
Tell me how it's fault. Tell me how it's his fault. Give me one thing.
Weren't you just arguing that he threw the wrong pitcher in the game before the wild card game?
Dude, and weren't you?
Again, it's not his decision, and we've already.
Of course it's his decision.
It's not.
Whose decision is it?
Michael Kay has been saying this over and over, and no one's closer than the Yankees to Michael Kay. Michael Kay said yesterday, again, which he's been saying for a lot of times, that the Yankees sent the lineup down to Boone before the game, every single game, and they give him an option whether he wants to use the analytical lineup or make his own lineup. 146 different lineups out of 163 games is not a manager saying, I'm picking this lineup. It's going by numbers. So he didn't make one lineup this whole season. He's going by the office on the analytical numbers because no one goes to work every day and says, let's change the lineup. I worked in a jail. If I was a sergeant, I wouldn't say, hey, Tommy, you're working with the Bloods today. Ghost, you're working with the Crips. You're working with the old men. And then next day, move it. Hey, you're with the Bloods. You're with the Crips. You're upstairs. It doesn't go that way. You work with the same people over and over. That's how you have success. No manager would change the lineup 146 times. He's using from the front office. The front office can use that as an excuse if they want to get rid of him. But there's no one else to get. Who are we getting? Who?
Honestly, you have to
players. We didn't get Scherzer out at the offseason. We got 2 hitters, and one hitter is batting 140. So we didn't get Scherzer. We didn't get any of the guys that were out there that could have made a difference on this team. We got a $400 million cheater, which is, again, whose fault is that? Everybody wanted him, but he's a cheater. We all knew he was a cheater, and he's a $400 million cheater.
I didn't want him.
Yeah, Ghost didn't want him. I was worried about it after the scandal.
Well, I mean, anybody who says they didn't want him is out of their mind. The guy was
I mean, everyone was fine with it. We were just, Bill, me and you talked about it in the offseason.
No one wants to spend $400 million.
It's really the only thing Cole did wrong. Cole was fine this year. The only thing he did wrong was he can't pitch in Boston.
He's a little
get a 5.5.
I mean, obviously, you can't pitch without the sticky stuff either.
So he can't pitch in Boston. That's for sure. He's got a 5.5 ERA in Boston, and that's who we start in the game in Boston.
Well, I mean, he had a 6 ERA the last month of the season, so obviously something was wrong.
So
he wasn't rotating any of his pitches last night.
Listen, he left Pittsburgh because he had a dead arm. He couldn't pitch. He couldn't pitch for them. He quit on the team. He goes to Houston, wins a Cy Young. Now all of a sudden you take away the 60s. The guy is garbage. I don't care what you say. He's not going to win us the championship. He's not going to win the Yankees the championship. I'm not going to say us because I can't fucking stand the team. But he's not what he was worth.
Well, I mean, that's obvious.
He's not going anywhere.
In the game yesterday, I'm not going to say that. But he sucks. That's why I didn't.
He does, but he's not going anywhere. There's no one to replace him.
Guys, Cole is not our problem. Like, Cole is the last thing.
No, I just don't like
him. Talking about Boone.
No, he's talking about Cole. Ghost's talking about Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Boone is 100% the problem because, one, you can't listen to Michael Kay because Michael Kay sucks Boone's dick 24 hours a day and does nothing but fucking protect him and defend him. Whoever's making these decisions, if it's not Boone, then Boone needs to be out because he needs to be making them. That's the issue right there. If they're sending him an analytical lineup, they don't know anything about analytics. There's nothing analytical that can put Joey Gallo in the 4-hole or the 5-hole. There's nothing analytical.
Yes, there is. 100% there is.
That should have had.
100%. That's an analytical move. What do you mean?
No, yes, but there's nothing
He had his 4 strongest hitters in the first 4 order last night. That's analytical.
No, he didn't.
Saying
Gallo is not his strongest hitter.
He's not a guy who can hit a home run in one swing.
That's fine. You don't have protection of a guy who strikes out, is leading Major League Baseball.
That's not how they're playing anymore, though.
But
that's baseball 15 years ago, not
leading Major League Baseball in strikeouts, leading them in strikeouts. That is not the guy you put. If you want to use an analytical, hold on.
Towards the top of the league in on-base percentage.
Hold on. Yeah, if you want to use an analytical approach, you put that guy batting fucking in front of them then. If he's getting on base so much, you don't put him as a protection bat. You put them on to get on base in front of Judge and Rizzo.
Who would you put in the 4-hole last night?
Dude, I would have Gallo batting.
Would you put Urshela, who was injured?
Rizzo.
Would you put Gardner, who's 39 years old?
Rizzo.
Who's batting 1?
Who's batting 1? Greg Allen.
Who hasn't played in 4 months?
Why hasn't he played?
I mean, come on, dude. Let's be honest.
Why hasn't Greg Allen played, Bill?
But if he started him last night,
we started Velasquez last night. We started Velasquez, who's played 1 game in the last month.
Let's be honest. If he started Greg Allen in the 1-hole, we would have been on here today if Greg Allen went 0 for 4, killing Boone for making that decision.
Not at all. Me and you were the biggest Greg Allen fans in the country.
I love him, but everybody would have killed him in the media.
Right, but this is the issue with the fucking Yankees, and then we'll get to some other stuff so we don't go too long on this. The issue with the Yankees has been Boone his whole career. He has no motivation. There's been nothing but reports. You want to talk about someone close to the team? I'm friends with fucking Juliana, who runs the VIP services there, who goes out to dinner with Cashman and Boone and these guys daily and is there and hangs out with the players and says he's their best friend. He's the player's best friend. He fucking kisses their ass. You said it midseason. Voit texts him, I want to bat first. Voigt's batting first. This guy wants to play third. I'm going to play third. He's got fucking Gleyber Torres playing short the whole season.
Tommy, Gleyber Torres is fucking. They said Joe Girardi was too hard on the players, so they got rid of him. Now Boone's too soft on them. What is the answer?
The answer is that Girardi had a different crop of guys than Boone has.
So who do you want to get? Like Hoffman said last night, Terry Francona. Who do you want?
I don't mind Francona. You know who my number 1 choice is? If the Yankees are going to do what the Yankees always do.
Stupid general manager is 32 years old.
No, if the Yankees are going to do what they always do and go, because you have to see who's available first before you make a decision like that. But if the Yankees are going to do what they always do and go with someone who's a former player from within, you go David Cone. He knows more about the team than anyone there. He's the only one who actually understands analytics. When you watch him on the broadcast, he always says the right thing. When they're bunting, he says, why are they bunting? When he's pulling a pitcher, he says, why are they pulling the pitcher? He actually is the only person in that whole organization who has any fucking idea of what analytics really are. These people are just putting numbers in and they don't understand how it correlates to baseball. So me, if we're going with some new blood and not a Terry Francona or someone like that, then yes, it's David Cone. That would be the new Yankee blood that I would want in there if we were going to do it. He actually has a clue what he's doing. But
that game's over. The Yankees are done. We'll see what happens in April or in the offseason. I'm
just excited Boone's gone. I'm excited Boone's gone.
He's not gone. He's not gone. I'll make a bet with you. He's not gone.
If he's back, if he's back next year, I may fucking turn in my stripes.
You will be there April. So
I will turn in my stripes. I will not root for them.
Be prepared.
What'd you say, Ghost?
Turn him in.
I will turn him in till he's out. Not permanently.
Let's fire a guy who won 100, 103, and 90.
Bill, fucking my mother could have won 100 games with that.
3 out of 4 years.
With that fucking team. My mother could have won 100 games with that team. All year, Bill was fucking screaming about how Boone sucks, Boone sucks, Boone sucks.
I think all of a sudden he does suck, but there's no one to get.
Oh, my God, dude, Bill. There's always someone to get.
All right.
Yeah, Buck Showalter, I'd take it a heartbeat.
Dodgers tonight. They're going to kill. Love the Dodgers.
First of all, let's stay on the Boston side of things. Do you have any interest in Boston long-term in these playoffs now?
I think that Boston's done. This was their one game. If Toronto played Boston, it would have been 15-1 last night. Boston has no chance. I think they get swept.
Yeah.
Actually, in the next round. Tampa Bay to win the series is -130.
-150. Yeah, it's moving up.
I laid a shitload on that last night when we found it. And I'm laying more on it today. I'm on my way to FanDuel as soon as we get off the show. with cash to put on that ticket and put it in my sock drawer for a 4-0 sweep and break it out later.
Yeah, I'm not going 4-0 sweep, but I am going Tampa Bay. First of all, -1.5 plus 160, -1.5 games. So I'm going to take that instead of the 4-0 sweep. I might throw a little thing on it, but I think this series ends 4-1, 4-2. They could sweep them. Boston's not going to have anything to do with them. That's not even close. That line should be -350 for Tampa to beat Boston in this series. What'd you say?
Well, I'm going to disagree on that one.
You're going to raise your voice as you do it or no?
Yeah, I was letting you finish. Tampa's owned Boston the last 3 years. They fucking dominate them. Boston hasn't been able to compete. The only games that Boston does win against Tampa is when what's his name's on the mound. It'll come to me. I just have a feeling that this is more of a gut feeling. I think that Boston has a chance to take this one. I don't know. I'm a believer in them. I think I'm going to take the Boston side.
All right. Well, you love Boston. You just love who you could bet their team totals the rest of the off season. Astros White Sox series looks like the Astros -130 versus the White Sox here. I think this is an interesting one, but I think you got to go with the Astros here -130.
I mean, as you said before, the White Sox are the worst team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I've got no respect for that team. That might even be a 4-0 sweep too. So we'll see.
Yeah, -130. Ghost, you ever play on Astros White Sox?
So I have a future from before the season on the Astros to win the pennant +900. I'm probably just going to ride that out. I had them to win the division, so we cashed that. I don't know. The playoffs are a different game. I think it's an even playing field now, especially these two matchups. I wouldn't be surprised to see Boston and Houston in the ALCS.
All right.
That would be where I was going.
All right, so you're on Houston too. Another one here, Brewers, Braves. Brewers -142 for the series.
Brewers are one of my teams to go to the World Series. Love them. Complete team, hitting, pitching, everything. Very sneaky. I think they're a good World Series play. But like you said, the National League is loaded with a lot of good teams. So, but I like the Brewers to go to World Series.
All right. Futures wise, let me just pull up the World Series futures here. I had +1200 in the preseason on the Giants to win the West. So that one's looking very good. That one won. I'm sorry. That's good. Plus I have the Giants +4000 to win the World Series. That one's looking very good. So on the NL side of things, I don't really need to make many World Series bets. I think what I really need here is just the Giants, and what we need, the subscribers also who have the +4000. We already cashed the +1200. Really, we just need, I think I also had one on the Cardinals. Yeah, Cardinals to win the World Series +2500 and Giants +4000. So on the NL side of things, I'm basically just happy that they're not playing each other, because if they could somehow both advance, I have a built-in hedge and don't need to hedge anything. But I'm going to let this kind of first round play out and not really hedge anything to start. Bill, would you be hedging those out the gate, or would you just...
I think the Cardinals don't stand a chance tonight.
Right. I would bet the Dodgers in that series.
Yeah, Scherzer. I mean, it's one game. Scherzer's going to dominate them like he's done all season. I love his strikeouts tonight. I think he has a great game. I think the game goes under. I don't like that Max Muncy's hurt. He's not in the lineup. And I don't know if he's going to play the whole playoffs. That's going to be a big blow for them. That's basically their MVP. Yeah, I think the Dodgers are very good, and the Cardinals can't hit him. Yeah. It's not going to be, they could haven't hit him all season. They're not going to hit him tonight.
Yeah, I totally forgot, actually. No, someone in the chat just said the next round is best of 5. So yeah, that 1.5 isn't as enticing, but I still like it. So 3-1, they'd have to win. I'm still taking that +160. Makes your sweeps easier, being that it's best of 5. I don't know why the fuck they're doing that. I thought they talked about changing that, making it best of 7.
Still best of 5. That's why I think Tampa's going to go 3-0 on Boston.
Yeah, that's stupid. All right. Other World Series bets. Anything else you guys are interested in for a World Series prop here? We have basically the exact series outcomes. We have the Dodgers +400, Astros 450, Rays 650, Giants 650, which is still egregious. I think that the Giants are +650 at this point. That's maniacal. That bullpen is insane, and they're the most clutch team out there. White Sox 700, Brewers 750, Red Sox 800, Braves 1100, Cardinals plus 2,000. Hottest team in baseball. Rolled off like 18 games in a row to get in, and they're plus 2,000 to win the World Series. So I'm not as confident as you are, Bill, that the Cardinals get knocked right out.
They're the hottest team in baseball, running into the one pitcher that they cannot hit.
Well, I mean, they don't need to win every game against Scherzer. They just need to win one game
They
against.
need to win one, and they haven't done it all season. And tonight's going to be the exact same thing.
That is fine. You can go down 0-1 and still win a series. I think plus
They don't need to with Tommy. It's one game today.
What's up? Yeah, I know. But
One
that's
game.
right, dude. I'm all over the place right now.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's it.
No, it's the one
They
game
lose
plan.
tonight, it's over.
Never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, they're in trouble. I agree. You could tell I've been sleeping most of the day. What about for the NFL game coming up this Thursday? Any takes on that?
We spoke about it last night on the chat. We were in the chat a while after the game. A couple people are on the same side as me. I like nothing in that game. Nothing. Don't like any player props. I don't like the side. I don't like the game at all. So I didn't put it in any parlays. All my parlays are dead anyway from the Raiders, but I don't like it. I don't like the game. I don't know how Ghost feels.
So we kind of talked about it. You know, my love for the Rams this year, I'm going to be leaning the Rams. The one non-play that I think is important that you talked me out of last week that I wish I stuck to my guns was not playing Cooper Kupp. I will not be playing him again tomorrow. I thought that he was going to struggle against Arizona. I felt like these back-to-back games were going to bring him back down to earth. I think tomorrow he'll have a decent game, maybe 60, 70 yards. I don't think he goes off. I don't think he gets his touchdown, 2 touchdowns like he's been. But I think that's going to set us up. And this will be a 5-week in advance free play for all you out there. I think after tomorrow's game, we get Kupp's yards totals a little lower, maybe in the 76-yard range. And then for the next 5 to 6 weeks, we just max bet him every week going forward. He's got the Giants, the Lions, the Texans, the Titans, the Niners, Green Bay, Jacksonville coming up again before they play Arizona again, where I think he'll get shut down the second time.
All right. So, Bill, what's your take? I know you don't love this game either. I can't believe I forgot that's a playing game today. You don't like this game either today, but tomorrow, right, Bill?
No, I'm gonna probably just do like the normal, like, you know, 1 touchdown each quarter, shit like that. But yeah, I don't like the game. I don't like any props. All the props I look inflated. You know, it looks like it's going to be a high scoring game with a 54-point, you know, total. But we saw what happened in that Raiders game where we all thought it was going to go to the moon. It looks like these island games haven't been scoring like we want it, you know? And I think this goes the same way.
So these island games have been fucking weird. That's for sure. It seems like something crazy is happening pretty much in every one of them. Not to mention you have 2 teams here. The Rams and the Seahawks tend to be 2 of the most erratic teams where one week you see them and they look like they can win the Super Bowl. And then the next week you watch them and you go, what the fuck's going on? I think McVay is one of the most overrated coaches in the entire NFL. I've said that a million different times to a million different people from his first time where he set foot in there. He gets too cute. And this is the problem with the analytics. I love analytics. You guys know I'm an analytics guy, but they fall in love with it way too much. And they try to just do too many things when it's just keep it simple, stupid. Just go out and fucking do what works. And they get away from all that. So this game the total on this game's up in the mid 50s, right? So normally on a game like this, we'd be seeing props galore, like things that we would absolutely fucking love. If you can get the 13-point teaser, they've hit almost every single primetime game, which shows you that Vegas has been pretty sharp and pretty on the number for almost all these games. So basically we're looking at this line is 2.5 for the Seahawks. If you could do the same game 13-pointer, which you can on, you know, some books, you can't do it on others. You could do it on MyBookie. You could do it on all offshore. Pretty much every offshore offers it. A lot of the legal New Jersey books and legal states will not offer it. So you might have to get cute and just take parts of it, do alt line parlays, see how you can get it in. But on this game, you're literally looking at the Ram. 2.5 is one of my favorite numbers to do this on, just because you're getting the Rams at plus 10.5. So you're getting over every key number at 2.5. So you're getting the Rams plus 10.5. You'd get the Seahawks plus 15.5. You'd get this under 67.5, and you'd get it over 41.5. So basically you need this game to be a single digit outcome one way or the other, most likely. and just end up somewhere in the 40s, 50s, or 60s, and you should be fine. So that's my favorite play for this game. But from a prop perspective, I'm going to be doing the same thing I do all the time. I mean, these are two guys that hit the long ball. We're looking at Stafford and Wilson. This is going to be a game where I'm going to dig into it a lot more, obviously, over the next night into tomorrow for the subscribers. But I know these are two guys that I really like doing longest completion for. You're looking at Stafford, you're looking at Wilson, you got Van Jefferson, you got Kupp and those guys who can go deep. You got Deshaun Jackson who goes deep on the Seattle side of the ball. You have Lockett and DK. One of them seems to catch a fucking long pass every game. I think it was Disley who last game cashed the over 38.5 for us. So those are going to be my two favorite bets. Russell Wilson over 37.5 longest completion. Matt Stafford over 38.5 longest completion. Bill, we've been nailing these. I've been hitting these almost all the time when I do them. And the nice thing is if you bet them both, they're both minus 110. You only need to hit one to break even. But I don't see any way that in this game with a 55 total with two teams that like to push the ball down the field and have a lot of deep threats, that one, if not both of these guys don't complete a 40-yard pass at some point in this game.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's probably going to happen. They're going to be taking shots down the field. I was looking at a couple guys. I'll give out a few plays that I saw to the, to subscribers on Thursday. But yeah, the game, I mean, it's just a total toss up for me. I'll be concentrating more on baseball because this game is just a toss up for me. So good thing there's baseball to occupy me with. And that's really, I'm, like I said from yesterday, I'm not a big fan of this game at all.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, both of these guys have hit the longest completion 3 of 4 games this year. Most of them, they'd hit it multiple times. And the time Stafford missed, he had a 35-yard completion. I think the time Wilson missed, he had like a 29 or 30-yard completion. So even when they miss it, they're still catching, a couple 28 to 48-yard passes. So that's my favorite play for this. Like I said, this is going to take a lot of digging on this game because there is a lot of opportunity here, but there is also a lot of balls that get spread around. I think there's going to be some huge live betting opportunities on this game. I'm assuming your favorite bet. What's your favorite bet of the day on this game, Bill?
Well, what did you think it was?
I thought it was going to be under 1.5-yard touchdown.
No, see, I don't think I'm going to go there because
what?
I think there's going to be a lot of long scoring if that happens. So I don't actually like that. I'll probably bet it just because I'm going to bet it, but I don't know. This game just rubs me the wrong way, bro.
I could see him taking a field goal prop today.
What's up?
I could see him taking a field goal prop for tomorrow.
I mean, I tried that with the Raiders. He had one. I couldn't get anything. So from now on, when I don't feel something, like I'm just going to stay away.
So do you have a play?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not giving out. And I will give out a baseball play, but I'm not going to give out anything for this game.
Wow. No plays for this.
No play.
No play. Bill is completely off. I'm definitely pounding the under 1.5-yard touchdown then because that has to hit if Bill doesn't bet.
Nope. Scherzer. Take Scherzer tonight.
He's going to fucking lose his mind. I will say this. Healy, who I told you has some work stuff going on this week, he'll be back on Friday. Thursday night football free bet. He likes Matt Gay of the Rams over 1.5 field goals to go where you were going right there, Ghost, with some field goal stuff. So Healy is on Matt Gay over 1.5 field goals in this game. Ghost, do you have a play for this game?
I'm going to be looking at the sacks. I think this game is going to be a little more defensive than we're expecting. I don't like the 55 total over. I think it's going to be a little slower pace. I think they're going to get to the quarterback a little more. I'm going to be looking at that. I saw the Rams maybe the first half total points. That would be my other play.
Okay. Yeah, it's always tough with these two teams. I mean, you pretty much feel like you know exactly where they're going to go, but this is going to be an interesting one. I think this is one where, you are going to see a lot of the overs inflated, like Bill said, so we'll probably end up betting a lot of weird shit on this. A lot of game oriented props will end up coming out rather than the actual players themselves. Not to mention that it seems like every time we hit a player prop, someone gets hurt, right? If we scale into it. We saw it literally Eckler fucking second play of the game. He's fucking limping off the field. And we're like, you got to be kidding me. This is happening again. Someone said, what about the Cowboys game? What is your guys' take on the Cowboys so far? Let's kind of touch on them for a second. Obviously, They look good. The gematria numerology crowd is all on the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. I did get a little freaked out when I was scrolling around Twitter and in our Discord when everyone was talking about the gematria play of the day was Roundtree for the Chargers, and we were kind of laughing at it. And then the whole second half, Roundtree got like every fucking carry. So I thought it almost pulled me onto the gematria bandwagon. But what do you think right now, Bill, about the Cowboys long term for this season? Cowboys Giants this week.
I think they kill the Giants. One of my favorite plays of the week. I have a lot of bets on that game, a lot of props, a lot of plays. I think they're good. I love their schedule. I like they're all around great team. They've been playing good defense. They've been playing great offense. Dak looks like a early season MVP candidate. He's up there. What can you say? The team looks great, and they're in a shitty division.
Yeah, that does help that they're shitty division. I don't fully believe it. Evan, you got to take on either the game Thursday or the Cowboys?
Game Thursday, I think I'm going straight for the Seahawks, to be honest. Just take the money line. Just because Russ performs. He just performs on the center stage. And also, I'm contemplating if you can find a Jamal Adams over like a half sack, might take that just because that dude is all about pressure. He's all about the big moment. He could probably get it going. But as for the Cowboys, I'm impressed by them, but I think their defense could be a little better. They got Van Der Esch and Traquan Diggs, I think, Stefan's brother. He's got 5 interceptions through 4 games. But overall, I'm not too impressed with their defense, and I think Jerry Jones spends way too much money on their offense rather than finding stars for the defense.
Yeah, they just released Jalen Smith, which was very interesting. I think he just signed a huge deal. Speaking of release/traded, Bill, you thought ESPN said released, and it ended up being traded. Ghost, have you seen the Gilmore news? Gilmore to the Panthers?
I thought I saw that he was released as well. Unless
he did. It was released on ESPN, and then they updated it. He got traded.
Yeah, I didn't see the update then.
Yeah, did anyone see this coming?
No.
I mean, that's pretty surprising. I know, Ghost, you're a big Panthers guy. This should help them tremendously.
Yeah, I just don't think. I mean, that whole team is going to revolve around McCaffrey. Donald's not going to go anywhere. And to follow up with the Cowboys, we've had the discussion about Dak, but I don't think they're as good as people think they are right now. I feel that their schedule has been pretty weak. They played Carolina without McCaffrey. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. But the 3 teams that they beat in the Chargers, the Eagles, and Carolina, I don't think that's a real test for them to really show. They have an easier schedule coming up with the Giants, the Patriots, Minnesota, Denver. Their true test is going to be when they play the Chiefs. They should be able to run the table until then. I just think that it's going to be an overinflated team until they get there. They're going to struggle against good teams.
Yeah, this is the Gilmore thing. The Gilmore thing's interesting. That the quote from Belichick was interesting. The last line of it, he said, "I'm grateful for Gilmore for his significant contributions to our team. It was a privilege and a pleasure to coach Steph. I appreciate him for being a true professional and class act, blah, blah, blah. Following discussions over a long period of time, we mutually agreed to part ways today." So the mutually agreed to part ways thing was very interesting there, obviously.
I wonder why Tampa Bay wasn't involved in that. I mean, they need
probably just money wise. I mean, they got a lot of.
Gave them 2 6th-round picks.
Yeah, I mean, but you're basically probably looking for
that was a free dump. That was just take the guy. We don't want him.
Yeah,
6th-round picks.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're prorating like he's making $15 million a year, so you're talking about $12 million you got to pay him this year. I mean, I don't know how much salary they have left after signing the whole entire NFL and free agency over the last 2 years. But that's a big addition for the Panthers, dude. You're talking about fucking defensive player of the year 2 years ago that just gets added to a defense that's already balling out. So does anyone have a early Super Bowl prediction or any early futures for the NFL or anything you're looking at from for the NFL perspective long term?
Ghost likes the Rams.
Yeah.
Rams are going to win the Super Bowl.
I'm not much of a big futures guy. I don't feel if you're not playing on credit, I don't like tying money up for futures long term. I don't usually play them, and I'm not a big MLB postseason guy, so I won't be tying anything up on more than what I already have.
I will tell you the Cardinals still being at like plus 1,600 to win the Super Bowl does look interesting, though, the way that team's playing right now. I was very negative on Kyler Murray, one of the few misses. I usually nail those flops, and he was one of the guys that's proved me wrong early on. Still want to see him get it done in the red zone consistently throughout a whole season. But that is interesting that they're still out there plus almost 2,000 on some books. That's
one injury to him, and that's done.
That is true. He doesn't get hit a lot, believe it or not, like clean. You know, he tends to avoid a lot of. I was worried about that with him when he started, but he has been pretty good at avoiding taking those big hits going forward there. So first look at this weekend's games. Nothing else on that Thursday night football game, right? And you want to talk about Kyrie Irving, Bill, before we do that?
We can.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's do the first look at this weekend's games. Just kind of run through it and see if anything kind of jumps off at a first glance, and then we can chat about Kyrie Irving and the NBA vaccine. Someone said any NBA preseason futures. I wouldn't even. I think that's going to be a fucking COVID vaccine fucking shit show nightmare. I'm not going near any of that. Especially with the Nets situation, because you're talking about probably the favorite to win it all, having all these issues.
Huge season for the NBA on turnover on players. A lot of players on different teams.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the Bulls replay from last night of their game. Caruso's on the Bulls now, and they're doing all these backwards passes and everything. That team's going to be interesting to see. I think Caruso on that team is going to be great. It's just so many players flipped up, down. You have to see them play for a few weeks before you make any predictions.
Yeah.
NBA.
Interesting. Mahoney wrote in the chat, Condre Diggs, defensive player of the year plus 2,000, starting the season off the way he did. You're getting a good jump on that for sure. If he can keep that up. So yeah, for the NBA futures, not really for me. Like not right now. I mean, I think this is the Nets championship to win if they keep their team together. And with everything that's going on with Kyrie Irving right now, who the fuck knows if he's even going to be on the team, who they get. I guess the one thing you could say is if you do want to take a team outside of the Nets to win the championship, now might be a decent time to do it, while the Nets are still plus 210, because if the Kyrie drama goes sideways and they can't trade him and he's only playing half the games and blah, 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 you might get worse value on any other team but the Nets.
I'll tell you one that I'm doing, and I'm probably going to do it today when I go to FanDuel. I was going to wait on this. I was telling people and Hoffman and everybody, Harden to win MVP. I think it's 2,000, maybe a little bit more. If Kyrie is out or he only plays half the season, Harden is controlling that whole offense. He won't miss more than 5 games over the season. He's going to control everything. He's going to get the assists. He's going to get the points. He's going to get the rebounds. He's going to play 75 games a year. I think that's a great pick.
I actually like that. That is a one way to kind of contrarian play of the Kyrie situation that's going on. He's plus 2,300 right now on FanDuel. So that's really good odds. Harden plus 2,300. I don't hate that at all. I wouldn't be shocked. Another one that I like there is Anthony Davis plus 2,800. I kind of that plus 3,000 is very high. And Russ, as much as I hate Russell Westbrook as a clutch player and a guy who I don't think will ever win the championship with, he just chokes too much in big spots all the time. He is a motivator.
I agree, but the injury there, he's so injury prone. He's going.
I know. Listen, but you're getting plus 3,000, right? Like,
how can a guy who missed 30 games going to win the MVP?
I get it. Listen, so let me put it this way: if I told you Anthony Davis was going to be healthy all year, right? Which obviously is
I mean, what are so
not very likely.
So take the odds on what you think Anthony Davis to play 70 games or 65 games this year, and then take the odds of him winning MVP. And then if that evens out, then you should take it.
Well, this is what I'm saying, right? So
I think him to stay healthy to win 65, to play 65 or 70 games is like minus fucking 3,000.
Okay. So the funny thing with Anthony Davis that a lot of people don't realize is he misses a lot. He gets hurt a lot. But outside of last year, he doesn't get hurt for long periods of time. That's what no one realized. He's just always leaving games at halftime and stuff. If you look at his games played, 62, 56, 75, 75, 61, 68, 67, 64. So, he usually does play about 65 to 70 games, somewhere in that range. In today's NBA, where they rest players fucking for no reason, you don't have to play 80, right? If you play 70, that's pretty much a full season. So, but if I told you he was going to play 70 games, hypothetically, I know that's a little more of a long shot. He'd probably be, plus 900, right, for MVP. So I think Russ in there Russ is already going out saying that he needs to get Anthony Davis the ball. Anthony Davis needs to be Anthony Davis. This is AD's team. He's literally saying all the things, and I think Russ will help him get more opportunities. Obviously, even though Russ is a ball hog, he does average like 15 assists a game. So I think there's going to be a lot of easy looks for Anthony Davis. And plus 3,000. Listen, if it was plus 2,000, I wouldn't do it. Plus 1,500, I wouldn't do it. Plus 3,000 just seems a little high for AD right now at that price with Russ coming in. First week of this.
So just to hit that back again, if you look at the last 10 years, basically, of MVPs, the only person who's won an MVP, actually, there's two MVPs who's played less than 70 games is LeBron and Giannis. Right. So you pretty much have to play over 70 games. And
you do, yeah, and that's what you're betting on, right? That's why you're getting plus 3,000.
Yeah,
you know, you wouldn't be getting plus 3,000 if we knew it was going to play. If it was, you know, someone who's going to play 70 games, you'd be getting plus 800. So, you know, I think in this situation, it's worth throwing a penny on it. He played 75 in back-to-back years in 2017 and 18. So he's done it before, so it's not crazy. But if he played a full season, I think it'd be worth it. I also think LeBron is going to be resting a lot more going forward, going to be taking a back seat a lot more going forward. So looks to be a situation that does line up for him to at least, you know, have a good first half and hopefully stay healthy in that situation. First look at this week's NFL. We have where are you at? When do you guys start looking at the games for the week? I know the answers, but I'll say it for everyone else. So I pretty much wait until I don't like to dive into these games. I just start looking at a couple props, but I don't like looking into it too early, especially in a COVID environment with injuries and training and practice shit. I don't get deep into it until we get to like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I start looking today usually, and I do kind of a first glance at what lines I think are extremely off. Ghost, when do you start doing your analysis for the Sunday games?
So my process, the first thing I like to do is just look at the board, usually on the Thursday game, to see if there's anything on Sunday I want to parlay it with or pair it with. I'll look at the slate just to get my gut feeling of what stands out. And then usually Friday, Saturday, I'll dive into it more, check injuries, this and that, and really lock it down. But right off the bat, I'd rather parlay the Dodgers tonight with a team like the Packers. I think there's plenty of good money line options to the Bucks just to get that minus 220 on the Dodgers down to even money.
Mm-hmm. All right, Bill, when do you start looking, and what are you looking at here?
Usually Thursday. I'll take a glance after I do the Thursday night bets, because I've noticed you have to get your props in on these players, the bets Saturday morning, maybe even Friday night, because now these props are moving 4 or 5 yards. Yeah. By the time you get to Sunday, the good ones, at least, they're moving 4 or 5 yards, 1 or 2 catches. You have to get them in early. If you don't, you're going to be losing out. I know a couple of Healy's last week moved 4 yards and I didn't put them in.
Mine usually move.
Yep. A couple of ones I did moved yards. You can't wait anymore. If you're doing props, you got to get them in early. If you're doing the games, I'll look Thursday. Like Go said, I'm definitely going to parlay the Dodgers with a few NFL teams on Sunday. So I'll start looking at that tonight. Usually Thursday starts my week for the weekend. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll parlay from Monday. So the games on Monday night, I'll end on a Thursday. And then Thursday, I'll start and end on Sunday or Monday. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I just feel like it's very difficult, even with the props. I see a lot of people get their props down on Monday and Tuesday, right? Which is great. You're going to get the best number every time when you do that. So,
but it's hard to find them. A lot of places don't even offer, like,
I don't know where the fuck
Sunday. MGM doesn't have Sunday's games up yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, when people put these out, I'm like, you're on like fucking Heritage or some Canadian book or something. Like, they're not really out. So there's no need to even start looking at them. Not to mention, I don't want to do props for Sunday on Wednesday. I mean, we've seen it a million times where a player tweaks an ankle on Friday, or there's a COVID outbreak like we saw with Antonio Brown, which changes the whole schematic of the whole entire game if one of those players goes down. It doesn't just
the earliest you could do it is Friday.
I mean, you got to start it on Friday. So I usually start off by looking at the games and seeing if anything jumps out around this time. And there are some interesting matchups this week looking ahead for week 5. I mean, the Jets getting a field goal against the Falcons is an interesting one. I really think the Jets are turning the corner. I'm probably not going to be betting that side as much, but I'm excited to see those props when they come out. My second DFS lineup this week had Wilson and Davis and Crowder. And now we're seeing Keelan Cole. So I'll definitely be interested in some Jets props against the Falcons defense that is just a fucking sieve. They just let everyone do whatever the fuck they want on them. I think those props should remain low. Total's 47, which is high for a Jets game. It's usually down at 41 so far this year. So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for props in that game. Bucks laying 10 against the Dolphins. I'll have that fucking 10-point teasered, fucking money line parlayed. That may be a good thing if you want the Dodgers today. Just go take the Bucks to beat the Dolphins with Brissett. That's another one that I'm looking at. Don't know what to do with the Saints this year, honestly. This Washington Saints game is going to be an interesting one for me. Tennessee -4 against the Jaguars. That'll be something that I'm on for sure. I think it's a bounce back spot for Tennessee as long as we can get fucking their receivers healthy, but I just love betting against the Jags. And then probably the biggest game of the weekend, Sunday Night Football. You're looking at the Chiefs at home against the Bills. That's going to be a fun one for us to get some activity on there. And then Ravens Colts Monday night, which I'm not overly excited about. But any other games on that list that we talked about that jump off at you?
I think the Packers line is just way too low right now.
What was that?
The Packers game, I think the line is just too low on it. I think it's worth money lining it. Parlaying with the Dodgers gets you plus about 120 or 130 when I checked earlier. That was the first game that stood out to me.
Bill?
Yeah, the ones that you said, I'm all aboard on. Tampa Bay, love it. Love that in a parlay, but I think that in the Dodgers is too high. So you got to go somewhere else. Maybe do a 3-game parlay, adding in the Packers. I kind of like the Broncos this week also, depending on, the injuries. Got to find out what's going on with the injuries. But I definitely like the Packers a lot. And I like the Patriots a lot. I like the Patriots on a bounce back. Against Texans are fucking god awful.
Yeah.
They should kill them on the road too, but they should kill them.
I mean,
that Bills game is going to be. Kansas City has no defense. Their defense is shit. Yeah. And the Bills have been putting up 40 points a game. I mean, that game we might hit 3 touchdowns each half.
One touchdown each half in that game should be, pretty much.
You're going to get minus on that no matter what.
Yeah, and you're going to have the Chiefs not score in the first half.
Yeah, of course. But that game is going to have a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one for Sunday night. It sounds stupid, but I mean, because they're big money line favorites, but I mean, these things work, guys. Like when you're hitting these, like, dude, you could take the Bucks, the Vikings, and the Patriots and get -113 and just bet them all to fucking win. That's, a lot of times I've been scaling into those big bets that look too easy. I did it on yesterday's game, on Monday Night Football game. Sorry, 2 days ago. The over 25 receiving yards. It was one of the max bets, over 25 receiving yards for Eckler, Renfro, and then over like 50 or 40 for Waller, where it's like you bring them all down to -250s and, it cruises to victory. So
yeah, plus 106 it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's an opportunity there. All right. Any other things in the chat that you've seen, E? Anything we didn't get to?
I don't believe so. Will the Jets be a 500 team this year?
No. But they
won't be a 100 team this year.
No, they won't be a 100 team this year. They won't, but at the same token, they will go over their win total, in my opinion. So, I mean, if you just look at their upcoming schedule, I think they could win this week at versus the Falcons. I think they could win versus the Dolphins. Then they play the Texans. I think they can win that. Who knows what the fuck the Saints are? And then they play the Jaguars too. So I could see the Jets coming out of this season with 6-7 wins. I think you're going to start to see the maturation of Wilson. He came out balled out on prediction, on cue, literally to the day, did exactly what I said. So I need him to continue to thrive for the next few weeks to save my brand on Wilson, because I said he's going to be fucking Russell Wilson by the time he's done. So I love this kid. Bill, they said, where do you find the under 1.5 yard touchdown? What book? I know MGM has it usually.
MGM, Bet365. There's a few of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there that have it. All right, so final call on the Dodgers-Birds game for tonight, Ghost, before we get out of here.
I think it's a parlay piece for the football games this Sunday. That's how I'll be approaching it.
Okay. Bill? Final
I
piece.
nailed Scherzer over 5 strikeouts in the Dodger win and 6 strikeouts in the Dodger win. 2 max bets I put out in the chat last night. And I'm also parlaying them max bet with the football games on Sunday.
Yeah, I like that. Scherzer 5Ks and the Dodger wins only like minus 130. So that's a pretty good number right there. I wouldn't take my take on the game, considering I thought this was the beginning of a series. That's how fucking upside down I've been right now with baseball and football going back and forth. So I do think I'm probably not going to really bet the side on this. I do love Scherzer. I'll have Scherzer strikeout stuff, but I mean, I don't know, man. That Cardinal team is fucking feisty, bro. And that Dodger offense has been fucking flopping left and right. So I'll probably have a no runs in the first inning type bet here. I think hopefully it starts slow, but I'll probably be looking for those player strikeouts that Bill was on, trying to pick off individual players striking out in this game. I think both pitchers come out. I think this is a 3-2 game, and I think this is going to be a fun one to watch today. So, any final words?
Nope. Go Jets.
Oh, Jets. All right. For Evan, for Bill, for Ghost, I am Tommy G. We'll be back on Friday. Healy will be back with us. We're going to do UFC. We're going to do college football. We're going to do NFL. It'll be the first show live on iTunes. We'll be bringing the heat on Friday, coming off a dark and dreary weekend for myself. I'll be jacked up for Friday's show. So good luck. Stay cashing, everyone.
Let's go.